Custodia prima retinet contraria bina. This is a statement from the first play of 133, and usually it is translated as something like first position, prima custodia, has two oppositions, and these two oppositions are Halbschild and Langort. I today would like to look exactly at this statement because I have some theory about it, and this theory will not open us some new possibilities with techniques, but it might tell us something more about what was the priest's way of teaching and give us some possibly general understanding of 133. So the statement Custodia prima retinet contraria bina contains two problematic words. First of them is contrarium. What is contrarium? Well, it is used several times in 133, and it seems to be a term, but a term with pretty broad meaning. So contrarium seems to be anything that one fencer does against what the other fencer does. So if the opponent is attacking me, then my contrarium to his attack will be some kind of Schützer, for example, some kind of defense, which will be the contrarium to his attack. If, on the other hand, the opponent just waits in a position, then my contrarium will be the type of attack that I will do against this position. So generally, whatever I will do against what the opponent does, that's contrarium. The second problematic word is retinet, retinere. This word has several meanings. One of the possible meanings is to keep or to hold, with a little bit of stretch, to have. And if the statement, this word had this meaning, then the statement would mean something like prima custodia has two oppositions, or prima custodia can be attacked in two ways, by Halbschild and Langort. But the word retinet can also mean, or retinere, can also mean something like to limit, to restrain. And then this statement would mean prima custodia can restrain two oppositions. So prima custodia can handle two types of attack. Prima custodia can effectively deal with two types of attack, Halbschild and Langort. So we have two possible meanings of this statement. And the interesting part is that both of these statements are wrong. And they are wrong not only based on some real-life experience, but they are wrong also based on the manual itself. Because are Halbschild and Langort the only ways how prima custodia can be attacked? Certainly not, because 133 itself gives us examples of more types of attack. For example, Kruke or prima custodia itself, which is the type of attack that is described on the very same page that talks about prima custodia retinet custodia prima retinet contraria bina. So in 133 we have examples of prima custodia being attacked by more than just two ways. So does it mean that prima custodia can defend only against two types of attack? And this is also wrong because, again, 133 gives us examples of how prima custodia deals with also other types of attack, like Kruke, for example. So both of these possible meanings are wrong, yet the statement seems to be pretty important. It is this type of condensed statement that you probably should remember well. It is rhymed to be even more memorable. You should have it in mind all the time because it tells you something important. This is the feeling that I'm getting from this statement. But it is at the same time wrong. So how to deal with it? Well, I have a theory that might explain it. I think that the first play of 133, or possible several first plays of 133, are in fact about self-defense. Why do I think so? Well, first is that prima custodia, in my opinion, is quite strongly connected to self-defense. Well, not only. I have already interpreted prima custodia as, for example, ending position of a half shield cut, like this. So it has more than one meaning. But also, prima custodia is the first position that you will get in if you are drawing your weapons. If you walk streets of a medieval city and you are armed, then you probably have your sword in the scabbard and the shield hung on your belt, like this. And if you are suddenly attacked, if someone runs to you with weapons, your reaction is to grab the sword with the right hand and at the same time the shield with the left hand and do this and draw both weapons out. And this position is again prima custodia. Possibly, if the opponent is attacking me, then this position will be the first one from which I will react to the attack, because I don't have time to switch to anything else. I have to defend from here because, well, I am already defending at this point. So, if we are talking about sudden, surprising attacks, then prima custodia is naturally the position that you will have to use because you don't have time for anything else. Also, I can see another way how prima custodia might be used in self-defense, because say that I am walking the same street and I am not yet attacked, but I look around and it seems suspicious. I feel that the area seems to be dangerous. Maybe the men that are coming towards me on the street, they seem to be dangerous, so I want to be prepared. So I will draw my weapons. But what I will do then? Well, I could stand like this and aim at the men that are coming towards me. This would be possible. And from a martial point of view, this is a good thing to do, because in this position, or say in this position, I would be ready, I would be prepared for an attack. So it is a good position, but it is also a position that looks like a challenge. From psychological point of view or self-defense point of view, this position is not very good, because by taking this position, I am challenging the potential attacker. Maybe before I have done this, there was a chance that I could leave without violence. But as soon as I draw my weapons and stand like this, it means that I want to fight. And the attacker, who was not sure if he will attack me or not, now will have to attack me. So this is not recommendable in self-defense situation to stand like this if you are not sure that you will be attacked. So what instead you could do is to take a different position that leaves your sword out of the scabbard, leaves you prepared, but at the same time doesn't look like a challenge. And out of 7 basic guards, only one position has these properties, and that is prima custodia. So I could draw my weapons and carry my sword and shield like this. You haven't paid your debt.
I have.
Okay, okay. And from a position like this, I am not looking as a challenge. I am not looking as someone who wants to fight. Yet at the same time, my sword is already out and I am ready to react. And I will be faster to react than if my sword was in the scabbard. You haven't paid your debt.
I haven't.
Ah! So, prima custodia has some connections to self-defense, especially to you facing a sudden surprising attack. Also, from the point of view of the teacher, of the priest who was a teacher, it would make sense to start teaching by self-defense, because it is a way how you can teach martial arts. You can start by giving your students who don't yet know anything a simple self-defense situation and a simple direct solution to this situation, and then let them drill it. And in this way, you can give them something very quickly, something that would work if they needed it. And if they learn this basic self-defense, you can then build your martial art upon this basis that you have laid out in the beginning. This is not stupid way how to teach. Even today, some martial arts are taught in this way. So it is not impossible that the priest was using the same method. Next, there is this statement, Custodia, Prima, retinet, contraria, bina. I have already said that the statement is wrong. It is wrong in the general context because, of course, prima custodia can be attacked by many other ways than just half shield or langort, and it can handle any other types of attack. So that's true, but, or rather, the statement seems to be false, but it is true in the context of self-defense, possibly, in the context of sudden attack, because if the whole setting of the first play is about the defender, who is the priest here, just drawing the weapons because he is suddenly attacked by an attacker, he is taken by surprise and he almost doesn't have a time to even draw his weapons, then he can say that, well, this is a situation that is very bad and you don't want to be in it. But at least there is something that plays to your advantage. And that is the fact that you can be sure that the opponent will not attack in overly sophisticated, overly clever way. Because why would he? He already has the moment of surprise. And he is trying to capitalize on the moment of surprise, which means that he wants to hit me faster then I am able to prepare for my defense. And in this case, he will use the fastest, most simple, most powerful type of attack that he can do, the most intuitive one, which would be a cut to the head. Most intuitive type of attack that anyone can do. Or for some people, maybe it would be a thrust, but nothing else. So, if you are suddenly attacked and you are just drawing your weapons because it was a surprising attack, you can be sure, pretty much, that the attacker is not doing anything fancy. He is either bashing your head or he is trying to thrust you, and that's all. And in this context, the statement Custodia, Prima, retinet, contraria, bina makes sense because it tells us exactly this. If you are in this surprising attack situation, you will have to face only half shield or langort and nothing else. This would also explain why 133 doesn't give us similar information about any other position than Prima Custodia. Because this would be extremely useful. If the priest knew that, for example, Secunda Custodia can be attacked only by, I don't know, Kruke and nothing else, then this would be very important information and it would be great if he said it to us. But he didn't. He told it only about Prima Custodia and about nothing else. And this seems to be a little weird, but it makes sense if he considers this Prima Custodia, this situation around the Prima Custodia in the first play as a self-defense. Because this situation, when you are drawing your weapons, this is a special situation. And it is certainly you facing surprising attack. And there you can have some assumptions about what the attacker is doing. If you are not in prima custodia, but in secunda custodia or tertia custodia or anything else, it means that you were not attacked surprisingly. It means that when you were attacked, you have drawn your weapons and had time to take a different position. And if you have this time, you were not attacked surprisingly. Which means that this is not the self-defense, the absolute self-defense, this self-defense against a really surprising attack. It wasn't that. And that's why 133 cannot tell you anything about what the attacker is doing, because the context is very different. So this is my theory. I think it makes some sense. Of course, it is something that we cannot prove, but the good thing is that it doesn't influence the interpretation of techniques. It just provides some context. And the context, I don't know if it is correct, but it seems to be a reasonable explanation for the statement Custodia, Prima, retinet, contraria, bina, and things around it. So that's it.